In issue 7 of Skybound's Transformers comic run, we are introduced to not only Elita 1, but also the hellscape that she lives in, Cybertron. As we'll soon come to find out, Cybertron and Elita are undergoing the same transformation in life. The war-torn battlefields and eroded landscapes of the Transformers' homeworld is not just directly tied to Elita, but it's a physical manifestation of how she too is slowly falling apart. War has overtaken Elita as she desperately holds off hordes of Decepticon soldiers on her dying homeworld. We soon discover that she, like RC, was once an Iron Apprentice to Ultra Magnus. But unlike her sister in combat, Elita has allowed the war to change her for the worse. This isn't the first time we've seen Elita depicted this way, though. Most notably, in the War for Cybertron trilogy, in the Siege chapter, Elita is shown to be at odds with Optimus Prime regarding his somewhat passive outlook on the war. In that series, Elita and Optimus share a very close relationship that slowly fades away as the war rages on. Optimus strives to be better than his enemies, and Elita strives to win the war no matter the cost. But in Daniel Warren Johnson's comic run, this relationship, if ever present in the past, has already fallen apart. As the comic progresses towards its first story arc finale, we see that Elita has a very hard time trusting Optimus after he left Cybertron. Her emotions towards him, at first, are shown as anger and disapproval. In her mind, Optimus, the leader of the Autobots, and everyone with him, abandoned their home and their people. He is no hero in her mind. He's nothing but a deserter. He does not have what it takes to beat the Decepticons, an aspect that we see Elita bring up not only in battle when commanding him to leave his wounded, but also later on when discussing the war together. It's not entirely spelled out if Optimus and Elita were in a romantic relationship, as they, most of the time, are depicted as being, but I think that is for a good reason. Johnson is showing us that whatever Elita and Optimus used to be doesn't matter anymore. Their relationship, whatever it was, is broken beyond repair. Optimus does not apologize for his actions, and Elita does not forgive him. These two leaders are at an impasse, both caught in different theaters of the same war, both technically on the same side of the conflict, and yet neither of them see eye to eye. Distrust has been sown between these two great warriors. Distrust that manifests itself in issue number 12. In the story arc finale for the comic, we see the truth behind Elita's stone-cold facade. After defeating Shockwave and realizing the true potential of Earth's resources, Elita opts to continue the bleeding of the humans' planet in order to save Cybertron. She has become so consumed with war that she will do anything to end it. Anything, even at the cost of countless innocent lives. She reveals that the explosive charges meant to destroy the Energon Harvester were never set. She had no intentions of stopping Shockwave's diabolical plan, but rather intended to use the mad scientist's equipment for her own noble crusade. Optimus, of course, is against the idea and rejects Elita's desperations, and in response, she sinks to a new low. Rather than challenging Optimus's courage or battle prowess like before, Elita's true nature is shown. She is helpless. Rejected and exhausted, she pleads with Optimus to not forsake her, to not forsake their home. The countless decades of war, the thousands of lives lost, do they mean nothing to Optimus? Does this seemingly random planet with lesser beings truly mean more to him than their own home? Elita is no longer the Iron Warrior that we knew her to be. Now, she is a victim of a war she has been forced to partake in. But her pleading for peace falls on deaf ears. As Optimus commits his final act of selflessness to save Earth from total destruction, Elita's mind is made up. Optimus Prime has chosen Earth over Cybertron. Hey everybody. Oh man, issue 12. I did not expect that issue 12 was going to be so Elita heavy, and I actually am really happy that it is. I feel like there's a lot to her character that really needed a little bit more of exploration as to who she was, and kind of seeing her turn, maybe not into a horrible villain like Shockwave would be, but kind of an anti-hero or an antagonist to Optimus Prime was just such a great piece of writing by Daniel Warren Johnson. The issue itself has been praised by many people, and I do think it is probably one of the greatest issues of not only Skybound but Transformers comics in general. But that doesn't mean I think that it's flawless. There's some things in there that I wish we had a little more time to spend with. The lack of Spike originally really bugged me, and I'll actually touch on that in just a moment. The lack of Spike, I felt that Soundwave, while at the beginning of the issue he obviously gets hit by Carly's truck, I wish he had a little bit more to do, as well as Jetfire being a little bit unknown. Cliffjumper as well, I noticed, Optimus goes back to save Cliffjumper, and they're both affected by the explosion of the Energon Harvester, and obviously we see Optimus falling, and so part of me is thinking, hey, what about Cliffjumper? Obviously, I know we're not done with these characters. Obviously, we're going to continue on with these characters. Daniel Warren Johnson is writing these issues up until issue 24, and then we're going to get a new writer. So I'm not worried about things being dropped completely, but I do wish that there was maybe even just one extra panel that kind of showed some of these characters. Hey, are they still there? What's going on? They don't have to be talking in the panel, but it would have been nice to see a little bit more. Same with, Ultra Magnus, some of the other Decepticons. I feel like this issue kind of put the side characters away, like Jazz as well. Hey, where's Jazz? It kind of put them to the side to focus more on Optimus Prime and Elita, which I really did enjoy. I thought that, Elita's turn was done very well. The corroded nature of their relationship was written so well. To see Elita go from this constantly angry and, just bittered warrior who almost kind of hates the other Autobots, to all of a sudden being just this character who's pleading and begging with Optimus. You really kind of see that underneath her tough exterior, she's falling apart. She's just like them. It's her nature. And to see Optimus make the choice to leave her behind, to say no, you can really tell in the artwork done here, which is just fantastic artwork. You can really tell the subtext coming through these characters. The Optimus truly is mourning the loss of his planet and the loss of the relationship that he had with Elita, whatever that might have been in the past. Optimus going all purple eye and seeing the vision of Spike with all that stuff, man, that's pretty crazy. Originally, I was confused by it, and everybody was saying, hey, well, that's obviously something to do with Megatron's arm, because Optimus looks at his arm and he's like, oh, what have I done? And originally I thought, what? That makes no sense. I think that it might be a bit of a combination between just not only just using Megatron's arm and this kind of, his fusion cannon, this weapon of mass destruction, but my guess is that it's also directly tied to Sparky being inside of the Matrix. Something is going on there, something crazy, because you can't just walk into the Matrix and expect everything to be okay. Ever since Sparky walked into the Matrix, Optimus has been having those visions, and now those visions are corrupted in some type of way. But yeah, I thought that this issue was really great. I think it's a great way to kind of wrap up Volume 2 and that first story arc. The next two issues, issues 13 and 14, are going to be about Starscream, his origin, and what's going on with him. Obviously, I doubt that he is dead. He could always come back as a ghost, or maybe he's just not dead at all. So it's going to be really exciting to kind of see Cybertron before the war, and maybe even some Megatron. But yeah, I've really enjoyed not only Volume 1, but Volume 2 now. I really love what Daniel Warren Johnson has done, and I think one of the biggest strengths of this comic is just the excellent character writing, especially with Optimus and Elita. So, But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know if you enjoyed issue 12 and what you think about Elita and her kind of shift to another side. Do you think she's as bad as Shockwave? I see a lot of people saying that. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.